What's up, yo? I just kind of want to reflect on the last year. Well, actually, a little bit more than a year. Since June 2018, when I came back to Ontario from BC. Let's reflect. Because for my people that were watching me, a year ago, 2 years ago on my channel, have seen a lot of changes in me, my environments, my life, my thought processes, my struggles, internally, externally, health-wise, physically, mentally, spiritually. Noise campaign. It's the 5th, 6th time that Doris land. And that never happens. But anyways, I was just reflecting on the last, year and a half, more, whatever. I haven't even slept yet. I've been up for more than 24 hours. Just because, I'm having one of those conscious times where I'm too alive to go to sleep. I'm too awake to go to sleep. Sometimes I fast. I'll fast for a whole day and I won't even sleep. Once in a while. But either way, I just wanted to make it clear that I don't know if you guys missed that or not. You know what I mean? Because June 2018, I came back from BC. I was in a completely different state, spiritually, mentally, and physically. I was in a lot better shape than I am now. Because I told you guys that me coming back to where I'm coming back to, Toronto, Hamilton area, bigger cities, more trouble. In the bigger cities in Ontario are a lot worse than the big cities out west. Regardless of what anybody told you, I've been there, in the streets, homeless, in shelters, with the halfway houses upstairs, with killers, people that have manslaughter charges, all types of fucked up people that just got out of the penitentiary, and I had to be exposed to all types of threats, you know what I mean? And I prospered. Without a scratch on my face, for 5 years in BC. But if you did that out here, 5 years in the streets out here, 30 days in the fucking street out here is a lot fucking different than even 5 years in the street in BC. People think, oh, Vancouver's the worst, East Hastings Strip. No, not really. It just looked ugly, looks messy, you can see a lot of it. That's still the suburbs. It's the most beautiful fucking place in Canada that you could possibly be, is Vancouver. Vancouver Island. But bottom line is, the reason why there's such a dense population of homelessness out there and, drugs and criminal and shit like that is because all the criminals and all the homeless are coming from all over the country, going to one spot. And Vancouver's a port place. Seattle is right across the water, 3 hours away. China is the other way across the ocean, over the large body of ocean. But think about it, China, Seattle, human body trafficking, crate shipments on fucking boats, drugs, guns, shit like that. That's a port spot. You're gonna get everybody there. You're gonna get Italian fucking mob. You're gonna get the fucking guys that like bikes. You're gonna get the fucking triads. You're gonna get the Punjabi mafia. You're gonna get all that shit out west. But you'll never see these fucking people because they're on this level. They have this in power. So you won't ever see them. You won't run into them unless you're involved in that fucking trade. And you shouldn't be. And if you are, it's the same anywhere you fucking go. It can go left really quick. It don't matter who you fucking are or how gangster you think you are. But you can't win in a game that's designed for you to lose. You know what I'm saying? So bottom line is, I went through some very dramatic changes mentally, physically, spiritually that you guys watched me go through in the last 2 years. And a lot of people witnessed that, and I wanted them to, because I told you guys, when this shit happens, when I come back out here, I'm going to become a different person again. Why? Because we have to adapt to our environment just like anything else. Whether it's a plant, a fish, a tree, a cat, fucking dog, whatever. It don't matter. We adapt to our environment. As human beings, that's our nature. So we become a product of our environment. So it's up to us to control our environment in order to control the fruit that we're going to bear and the outcome that we're going to have in our lives. Me knowing that it was a bad decision to come back here, I made sacrifice. Because I didn't see my mother in 5 years. My dad passed away when I was 18, when I was in Barton Jail in Hamilton, Ontario. 28 in a month. And I moved from Hamilton when I was 18, 19, moved to Kitchener-Waterloo, did 4 or 5 years there. I had a good run, I had a good job, I had a nice place, I made a lot of friends, I got on the radio out there. Shout out to DJ Carmelo, 107.2 FM I think it is. It used to be 103.2 or something like that. But anyways, I had my music playing on the radio, aired on radio. I was doing shows. I had a 2-bedroom apartment. I was renting one of the rooms. I had my girl. You know, we got our money and we had our own home and we planned on building a life together. So I brought her out west. I had an opportunity to go out west to Vancouver Island. I talked to somebody that I never met before that was out there. And I went out there, rented a room, me and her. I had like 4 or 5 grand saved up. And caught her cheating on me. Using my phone at like 4 in the morning, pretending she's talking to her grandpa. And I came out wondering why was she outside at 4 in the morning, and caught her on my phone. She's like, "Oh, I can't hear you, hello." One of those ones, right? So I said, "Give me my phone." Took my phone, looked at the number. It was a Kitchener number, where we just came from. First of all, Grandpa and Grandma aren't up at 4 in the fucking morning, okay? Second of all, I called that number back, and it was her ex-boyfriend, right? And then I seen a text talking about how they want to fuck each other, they still love each other, all that shit, right? So I said, alright. I let her go. You know, I said, nothing left. You know, that's it. You know what I mean? That's it. That was it. You closed it off. I can't believe you just did that now that I just brought us to a beautiful island, you know, where there's fucking palm trees and shit. And I thought I left Canada or some shit. Vancouver Island, look it up. Victoria, BC. And I left my 2-bedroom apartment, all my friends, my reputation I built, everything I built, because I thought this would be good. I'm hitting that age of where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna grab my chick. I'm gonna make something cool out of this, and I'm gonna settle down and have a family and build that now, because I did everything else. Did jail, did the clubs, did the music, radio, fuck gangster shit, jail, fucking no fulfillment, burnt out, worn out, used up, nothing left. Nothing left. learned from it, was blessed enough to live from it, you know, and went out to the island, like I said, and that happened. Flew her back home, stayed out there. Stayed there for 5 years. It was changed my life altering, because I was a material man when I went out there at 22 years old. I was very much of a material, angry, get a fucking job, you bum, motherfucker. Get your money up, bitch. You know, shit like that. I did all that shit, right? I can put the video. I guess I'll put the videos in here. Me flexing in a club and $50 meals and fucking $500 nights and $1,000 fucking Armani watches and $1,000 genuine diamond bezels. I have video proof of me wearing all this shit and having money and doing all that shit. And I keep it just to remind myself of how much I've evolved. You know what I mean? How far I've come. It humbles me. It makes me know for sure that I'm on the right track. When I see that shit, I'm like, wow, you really did that shit for real, eh? Too bad these motherfuckers can't know that, right? All they can do is listen to you talk and fucking not believe you. But as long as you know yourself, right? In the end of the day, my point being is that I became possessed when I came out here, and I knew that was going to happen. I actually specifically said that and told you guys that that was going to happen when I was in BC and I was about to leave, and I said things are going to change dramatically, and I'm not going to be in the same state of mind and clarity and close as I am to God right now as when I go back into the cities, because God purposely took me out of the cities and placed me in an environment where He could work on me to build me to my fullest potential, humble me, break me, to rebuild me. Hey, get out of here, kitty. Cat just jumped on the table. Hey, get off of my camera, you silly cat. Get out of here, you silly cat. What are you doing? What are you doing? Crazy cat. What's up? Get out of here. Go play. For my camera. I know you want to ruin it because you're a cat, but the camera's a little bit worth more than you. I'm just kidding. Anyways, here you go, kitty. You can have this silver chain to play with. Anyways, so I became demonically possessed when I came out here, and I knew that was going to happen because this place was originally the place that I came from, which was I came from the darkness. I came from the evil. I didn't have God, never knew God, never experienced God, never had the Spirit, never been through any of that spiritual growth. It was mostly, how can I be as savage as possible? How can I dominate in this evil realm and be as evil as I can possibly be to stay alive, to win, because that's the environment I lived in. But I didn't know that there was a world outside of that until God opened my horizons, and then I could see that it was an illusion, paradox that didn't exist. So then I went to jail. My dad died. I got out of jail. I was going through a lot. I left, like I said. You know what I mean? God took me out of this place on purpose, and then I came back. But before I came back, I prayed to God and I said, God, tell me if this is the right choice, because I almost died out here many times. People kidnapped me, got stabbed in the head, got fucking gangs all over the place trying to catch me lacking. God protect me against all of my enemies, and to be honest, 90% of them are actually deceased at this point. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Those who plot death against me shall fall into their own traps, and I witnessed that. And it's not a joke, and the wrath of God is very mighty, and it humbled me and made me realize that I have to never come against a child of God, regardless if I am a child of God or not. I cannot make that type of mistake, because it could cost me my life, my soul even. But regardless, people came against me and they were destroyed, and they were destroyed. They're no longer here. Before it ever got near me. But anyways, this place is very evil. You have to be able to thrive in an evil place, or you can choose to change your environment, which I did. God brought me out. I came back, made sacrifice to see my mother that I didn't see for 5 years. I had a bad feeling, and I didn't want to, the way it was with my dad, you know, he did 10 years in the pen, got out. I ran away when I was 13 from my mom's. I'll make a video about that later, why. And, you know, they kicked me out. They were abusive, alcoholics, violent, punching each other, blood all over the place. My mom and her boyfriend, my so-called stepdad, that I ended up beating up later when I was 16 years old, and repaying him for all the abuse that he gave to me and my mother. But that's over now. But I ran to my dad's, 13 years old. Then you know, things went bad for him and his wife, and then he turned the apartment to a trap house. She moved out. We started cooking coke, selling crack, you know, hitting licks, robbing drug dealers, shit like that. He had me in the game because he couldn't stop me anyways, because I was already doing all that shit at 14, running the streets, because they weren't there. There was no parents or guardians or guidance there. And the streets inherited me and taught me how to survive in the streets, and I did the best that I could to make sure that I was the most fucking on point and on top of this dirty ass fucking game in the streets. And I did prosper, and it pissed a lot of people off and made a lot of people want to kill me, but they missed, you know what I'm saying? Thank God. All glory to God. But I am going back to nature, and I am going back to where God wants me to be in the land. I'm not going to say where, you'll figure it out later, but it's going to happen real soon, and you're going to see that happen again. So I'm just letting you guys know, like I did before I left and I came out here, that this is the next transition in my development in my life, and I'm going back to humble. I'm going back to spirituality. I'm going back to nature. I'm leaving the city, the material things. I came here for 2 years, and it was fucking hell. I almost went to jail for attempted murder. I almost got killed. I almost had to do a lot of fucking real bad shit, man, and I knew that this was going to happen. And I did what I had to do, and God protected me and favored me, because my intent was pure, and I did not want this. It had to be, and He protected me through it, and He will see me out of it. And I will see you guys soon back in nature with some new stuff. Peace.